Hello, friends. My name is Ritvik Tandon, and I'm working as an independent consultant. I have about 26 years of working experience with various functions, verticals in the field of business and operational excellence. I'm pleased to bring to you a presentation and a brief overview of basics of change management. What is change management? The definition is change management is a structured approach to transition individuals, teams, and organizations from a current state to a desired future state to achieve a target operating model or strategy. So basically, what it means is that you can apply to every facet of your organization, to your people, to your assets, to any project, wherever you want to, the change management would be equally applicable. Before we go into more details, let's see what are the types of changes we talk about. As you recall in the previous slide, we were talking about it is applicable to every aspect, every function. And now under this, some of the key areas which is applicable is process design, when you want to change a process or modify it or engineer it, upgrade technical information or technical or upgrade in terms of technology. You want to restructure an organization. You want to impart changes to a business model. It is extremely applicable to mergers and acquisitions because not only that involves technical, financial, as well as people related changes, and is equally applicable to any new marketing campaigns. It can be a variant of the existing product or any new product also. These are the types of changes where change management is very useful and very applicable. Not to start on a negative note, but it's when important to remember that over 70% of change programs fail. I'm not saying this, it has been said by John Cotter. He's the author of Leading Change and one of the foremost experts of change management in the world. Why they fail? Some statistics for you. 35% of changes get cancelled. 67% do not realize the full potential. Meaning, I'm supposed to derive some objective out of a change. Out of that, 60% will not be able to derive that objective. 46% of us we are not sure whether how to do business on ERP. 53% budget around 189% of actual estimate. What does it mean is if there are hundreds programs and there is out of this we have set our budget for each one of them, 53% of them will overrun the budget and the amount of budget overrun will be about 190%. 70% total failure of change efforts is total utterly failure. 40% did not achieve business case even after 1 year on go live. Meaning we are supposed to get a return on investment, but even after 1 year of go live of the implementation of the project or the program, 40% did not even achieve the primary business case. These are some hard stats and facts why change management fails. Continuing with that, what are the errors we sometimes do? Error number one is not establishing enough sense of urgency. Error two, not creating powerful enough to guiding coalition. So refer the words which are underlined. Enough urgency. If the people in front of you or the people whom you're selling change do not see it urgent, they will not embark on the journey of change. It will not be enough to set alliances or forge alliances. Third is lacking a vision. What do we see ourselves after the change? Error four is we are not communicating enough. Error five, every change will come with some obstacles. Every vision will come with obstacles. We need to remove it, plan much in advance. Error six, not systematically planning for creating short-term wins. A journey to change can be a very long one. We need to set aside toll gates, goalposts, and every toll gate or goalpost we achieve, there has to be marked with short-term wins which need to be celebrated. Otherwise, it becomes very monotonous. Error seven, declaring victory too soon. While we need to celebrate our short-term wins, we also need to be very practical and very down to earth in terms of that we do not declare victory very soon. Now, these are seven of the primary errors which we make when we are making any change. And if we are not thorough, one of them or a combination of any one of them or all of them can be reasons for failure of change. And it's not the sequence which is important. It can occur in any sequence and it can occur at any level. It can be multi-pronged also. It can be a single error also. Each one of them on its own is capable of causing the change to come. This why not a lot of emphasis on this slide, because this is very important to avoid these errors while embarking on a journey to change. What are the two aspects of change? One is technical, the target operating model. What exactly are we want to achieve? Now, the target operating model will comprise of the financial part of it, where we should have done a thorough cost benefit analysis and financial analysis. What kind of tools we are going to use to improve the process, and market, whether there is adequate market for it, or if it is a transactional process or an internal process, those are internal customer, we have enough buy-in for internal customer. The second aspect is the people side, where this target operating model has to be taken to the people. Is there enough motivation? Do we have enough knowledge? Have we educated them enough? Are the systems and processes to make sure that there is an aspect of change and the people side of the change is well balanced? So the combination, the technical as well as these people, or I would say the softer and the harder aspect, both have to be taken care if the change has to be successful. What are many types of change, various types of change models? Levin's model, Cotter's 8-step, GE's change acceleration program, and ATCA model. We'll deal with all these models later on in subsequent lectures. For the time being, I want to look at one change curve. How does the journey of change progress? If we want to plot morale and competence over a period of time, there are primarily 4 stages which are there. This actually depicts any individual's natural inhibition, inertia to change. How do we start with it? In any green pasture or any change program which initiates, the initial part for most of the individuals is it's a shock. At the event, what has happened? They're taken totally aback. The next stage is denial. Though our moral and competence increases, but we are actually in denial. We are refusing to believe it. We know that it exists. The individual knows that it exists, but we are looking for evidence that it isn't. Then as we progress, we need to understand that and keep in mind that the 7 errors which we were talking about. If those 7 errors are avoided, then these curves can be shorter. Their slopes can be shorter, the time can be shorter. The third stage is frustration. Recognition that things are different and people are angry. Then it goes to depression, low mood, lacking in energy. Now, at this stage, there's a sort of acceptance, but at the same time, there is depression that we have from an individual perspective. There is no option, but he has to go undergo a change. Then the next stage becomes okay. Let's start experimental, which starts with initial engagement with new situation. It improves. The moral competence is also improving, and the decision is how to learn to work in the new situation, feeling more positive. Finally, the integration part. So stage one, if you were to classify all these points and break them into 4 stages, stage one is this can't be happening. Stage two, why should I have to change? Stage three, it moves to a positive aspect, how this could work for me. And stage four, I now can see how it works. Now, the errors which we were talking about, right? If we have done our homework well and we have made sure that we are going to avoid all those kind of errors, this journey for an individual level or a team level or any particular group level or a function level can be shorter, and we can achieve our integration from the time of initial shock to integration in a much smaller amount of time, or I would say much shorter time. Any of those errors occur, this time will extend, and we can get caught in any of these stages, whether it is shock, denial, frustration, or depression. These initial 4 aspects, or I would say moments of truth, can cause a inhibition, or it can be as roadblock or a showstopper. So we have to be very careful that this journey has to be tread very carefully. We have to make sure that it is well communicated. At times, a suitable reward recognition towards the end of the change can prove to be very helpful. It can be a sort of incentive, but then it is typically a carrot and stick. What happens if you don't change? And what do you get if you do change? So therefore, it is very necessary that the change has to be top-driven. So top-down approach with a bottom-up integration and an horizontal application. These are the 3 aspects or facets which we need to always keep in mind. Understanding and recognizes the resistance and inertia is imperative to building facilitation skills. When I'm talking facilitation, it means facilitation to change. Thank you. You can connect with me at ritvikt@hotmail.com. I'm also available in LinkedIn. You can search me out, or also on Facebook. Thank you.